Hello. I know it's been a while, and the last couple of videos I've said that, but it has. I just wanted to come on really quickly. I actually just recorded this, and it went longer than I wanted it to, so I'm gonna re-record it. Because I don't do the editing thing. It's just that it's too much time. I don't care about it. Anyway, I just wanted to come on really quick. Oh, say hi, Grandma. Hey, Grandma. And just give a quick update. I have had a lot going on. So I've had a couple people message me and ask me if I am going to restart my Ustream devotionals. I would love to. However, life has gotten a little out of hand lately, and I okay. Honestly, sorry. There's been a lot that has happened that I really need to kind of understand better for myself before I really dive into anything. And not that that won't be part of anything. I just want to be able to understand it better for me. Because, let me just say this. My nails is funny. Anyway, not that. I don't know. You have a plan, you really put a plan together and you're like, it's going to go like this, it's going to be like this. And then someone decides to come in and just flip it. So that's happened a lot to me the last few years in just the most extraordinary ways, and some of that I don't mean in great ways. You see that right there? This little bow here? I've had that up since the first Christmas I was in this place. It's still there. It was like 5 years ago. And I don't care. I just want to point that out. Anyway, it's Christmas all year round here. I also have you can't see it, but I also have a stocking on my mantle still that I have not taken down. Hasn't been there as long. But anyway. So I just kind of wanted to quickly just kind of talk about how, as Christians, when we first make that decision, well, let me say this. There's all different types of Christians. They're the really, really just excited, happy ones all the time. There are ones who know everything word for word, who can cite a prayer like that. Not a verse, I mean just a perfect prayer, Not that that's technically a thing, but, when you hear it, you're like, oh, okay, like I could never do that. Yeah. There are those who are, these ones. And then there are those that are more, well, there are also ones who are very, very quiet and very just, very, very, very pleasant. And they never say a thing about anything bad. And, and they're great. And then there's ones that have opinions. Me. That some, that their opinions, educated opinions, first of all, but opinions who speak about them and are not so peppy and, just kind of normal, like just kind of whatever. That's me. I'm that kind. But in the beginning, when you really, let's say this, like any relationship, right? The beginning is the best. It's when everything's great and everything's going perfect and you're just so about all this stuff, about the person that you're with or just the idea. You're just all about it, whatever it is. And then time goes on and things start to just, I don't know if fizzle is the right word, but they kind of calm down a little bit compared to the beginning. And I don't know if necessarily that's where I'm at, but I do know that there was a moment where things were rolling, really, really rolling. Ideas and, action, whatever. And then things just kind of just slowed down. In my case, I wouldn't say that's because I don't feel it or anything. It's not that. It's not that there's no fizzle. Or that, no, fizzle. Not that it's fizzled out. It's just that life hit me really hard recently, So, again, that's mainly me learning how to get through that process. I was at a point where, I had never questioned my faith ever, and I thought that was awesome. And it's not that it isn't, but I found out that there's a certain, there's just a certain, audience of people that you miss because you can tell them everything in the world, but if you don't really understand, it's a little more difficult to get your message out. And I can't say that I fully gave up, because that's not the case, not by any means. But there was a moment in life here, the last few months, where I was questioning things, not everything. But there was a moment where I didn't understand. And I could not find or figure out where that understanding was really going to come from. Aside from, him helping me understand, I just was, it was just a big blur. And it was a car ride on the way home from a 2-hour car ride on the way home that he spoke to me and explained to me. He didn't cause the situation, but he used it, and I allowed him to use that. And he simply said to me, there are people who would never understand you before today. And there would have been people that I could not have helped before today. And he was right. I've seen it. I know that there are people around me, there are people I've spoke to who, can't fully understand the way I do, because, I've done my own thing, different from theirs. But there are, a certain select people who I can speak to who understand, people who are dealing with, losing loved ones to cancer, losing people who are close, very, very close to them, living through a life of, with addicts around them, growing up poor, dealing with, people who have been abused. There's a whole, section of people that I've been able to just give my own testimony of what I've lived through and how God helped me get through it. And then there's a section that I can't. And I can, give it my best, everything that I can think of to say. But there's a difference when you're coming from a place of understanding, because you get it. You understand why they're questioning or why they're asking these things. And so there's that. And I can't thank him enough. I mean, getting there was rough. Going through it is rough. But when you know that he's guiding you and he's teaching you, you let him. You let him. And that's what I've been doing. And that's why mainly the live streams have stopped, just because you really have to, when he calls, you just got to listen. You can't be thinking outside of yourself. You can't, thinking of, things as yourself. You have to really just take a minute and let him work and understand and listen as he's teaching. And that's what I did. Still doing. I'm not fully, completed in this course yet. That he's walking me down. I don't think. It doesn't feel like it yet, but I'm getting closer and closer every day, and it's beautiful. It really is. And I serve a God that does that, and it's an amazing feeling knowing that he wants us to know so much so that we can teach others and show them who he is and how loving he is and merciful and forgiving and gracious. I mean, it's true. It's really true. So there's that. That's where that is. I know I also said that Grandma's book would be out soon, but again, things happen. I'll let you know. I do want to mention really quickly, before this goes any longer, that I started my journey as a child, as a baby, as a little baby. But I really started my own personal walk 3 years ago. And it's been a whirlwind. I gotta tell you, I wish there was a way to really explain how good he is and how he loves being part of our lives. But I've started my ministry online, and just doing what I can. If someone needs something, that's really, I'm trying to do my best to take after what Grandma did. Even though I hated it as a kid, because I didn't understand then. But, she took in anyone and everyone who needed her. Whoever she thought she could bring to Jesus, she did. I mean, the woman, she was a missionary at heart. She was meant to be one, whether she was out there or in her home. On the phone, whatever it was, people they flocked to her. They just, he brings them, whatever it is, she didn't turn anyone away. And so I'm slowly starting to understand how that works, and, just follow that path that she led me down. And last week I got to do that. Got to take it into another level. I got to baptize a very, very dear friend of mine. And I have to tell you, okay, let me just say that being baptized is such an awesome feeling. And literally, unless you've done it, or unless you've unless you've really been down that path or taken that step yourself, it's hard to explain. But being on the other end of it, totally just, I don't know if it's better, or I really can't describe it, but it was such an awesome feeling. There in Heaven is for Real, there's a chapter where the boy describes to his dad what he saw while he was preaching, and it was a blue light came over him. I think it was a light, something blue. He just saw blue around him, came down. And that's how he described the Holy Spirit. And I will tell you that I was so nervous. It's, it's not because it's my first time, not because it's one of my best friends, but because I really, really wanted to make sure that anyone listening, anyone witnessing this, that it would speak to them. It's not to praise me. It's not to praise her. It's to praise Jesus. And to show that, whatever you thought, whatever ideas you have about the church or God or whatever it is, this is what it is. It's about the relationship, that we have with him, and surrendering ourselves to him, and just allowing him to love us and, walk us through life. And I will wait and go through the details on it later. But I will tell you that it was so amazing. And I had so many great conversations with people afterwards that it was a perfect day. We also dedicated our son back to God, and he was such a good baby. Can't tell you how relieving that is, because you never know. But he smiled, and he was happy, and he's so cheerful. Nobody else could see that because everybody was, bowing their heads and praying. But I could see it, and he was beautiful. So it was a very, very beautiful day. Such an amazing day for God and for Zara, and me as well. I don't want to be selfish, but it was so awesome knowing that I was able to assist in, bringing someone new into God's kingdom. And Zara, I am so proud of you. I cannot wait to do this life with you and watch all of the amazing things that you're going to do. In Jesus' name, it's going to be beautiful. So there's that. I'll get into that later, different time. But to sum it up, the live streams will probably stop, but I may still have some videos. I think I'm going to be switching to a podcast. I'm like 99% sure on that. I just need, like I said, I need to really just follow this through and see where he's walking me, and what he wants me to do with it. And then once I know, you will know. But I know it's definitely to continue on, and we're in some trying times in this country, in the world, and we need to be louder. We need our voice to be heard, because our voice is his voice. We are the church that some may never see otherwise, and we need to make sure that as Christians we are putting ourselves aside and really allowing him to speak through us. It is important, it is vital that right now especially we follow his word, and we follow his leadership, and where he's taking us, because he's coming soon, and I cannot wait. I am so excited to see this woman. This woman, that's me. No, that's me. Well, that's me too. Anyway, I'm so excited to see her. I cannot tell you. I mean, I know, I just know deep down in my bone tissue that he's coming soon. I wish I knew the day, but we don't get to know that till it happens. So, it is our job to make sure that, the world knows how much he loves us, that he is there for us, that we need to turn back to him. This country has gone so far away from his teachings and his love, and just, anyway, that's another segment. We'll talk about that one later. But till then, be kind, and Uh, let's respect each other's wishes, opinions, and whatnot, whether we like them. We are human beings. Taught to love one another. Okay? All right. Well, till then, people. Till then. Aloha.